Um, I hope no child has to go through what I had to go through when I was no more than 5 years old. Now, sometimes your parents get into it, then one parent take the children and then they have to move back out of town to another town. But that's what happened to my parents. They split it up. And that made us had to move from Jasper back to St. Augustine. And where we stayed at down Jasper, we were used to sand. I know I was, 'cause I was down up in the sand playing. But when we moved up here to St. Augustine, the dirt was red. And I couldn't deal with no red dirt. But anyway, back to my testimony. And I was looking, I seen all these tall trees. Man, where I stayed at, it wasn't no many trees. And it was dark, but we had a pole light on our side. Down here, you couldn't even see your own self. And I had to get me some light down here. When I got grown, I had to get some light, so I can see myself. And I was so scared I couldn't even, I wouldn't even go outside. Even though we had to go outside, to the outhouse and everything. But I was afraid to go outside at night. But thank God we fixed that situation. And then I'm going to tell you about the light I had invented in the house, too. But, back then they had coal lamps, that's what we had. And we had to heat our water up, on the heater or on the stove, back then. When you draw your water out the well. Y'all remember them days. Now, don't act like you don't remember them days. They were some good days. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. Now, when I was little, when we moved up here, we moved up to my grandmother. And our grandmother, she wouldn't let us sleep in her beds. She would had these mattresses, make us sleep on the floor on these, mattresses. And the grown-ups would sleep in the bed, but we had to sleep on the mattress. That's where our grandma was, though. She had some rules to her house. And so next morning, got up, come out. We all had to get ready to go to school, 'cause Mama had transferred us in school. So we all went up there, so Mama could transfer us in school. Everybody got transferred into school except me. And Mom had my birth certificate, talking to this principal. And he still wouldn't let me go to school. He even called down there to Jasper. And they told him that I was going to school. He talked to the principal down there. Got out his mouth that I was going to school down there. And he still wouldn't let me go to school. Now, he was looking at, I believe he was a racist. Because I was short and everything. And so then he kept me out. I was out of school for 2 years. 2 years. And then, after the 2 years passed by, then I started going to school. My very first day. That's when I was going into school with all the colors thing, It was confusing too. And then we moved over here to this other school. That's when blacks and whites were going to school then. And then I had to be put in my room. You see. But they had me in kindergarten here. I was looking at these kids. And I was looking at me. And I was bigger than these kids. I said, something wrong with this picture of him. And then the teacher said, we're going to have to put you in your right grade. I said, okay. So then she got me by my hand, and she walked me up here to this room. You know, she knocked on this door. And the teacher, she was white. But I'm not a racist person now. But anyway, the teacher opened the door, and the teacher was telling her that I was one of her students. And she said that, she looked at me and she said, she's not coming up in this room. And when she said that, that went all over me. That hurted me. And I started crying, you know. And I took out running. And I ran all the way back to that kindergarten. I seen this colored teacher. Because I peeped in the, you know, to make sure. But I'm not racist now. But anyhow, she came to the door. I ran to that teacher. I put my arms around her. I was just shaking all kind of and crying. And then the teacher, she ran behind me. I was sure she was going to catch me. But no, man. She didn't catch me. But she was trying to. Telling me to stop. She was out of breath and everything, but I wasn't about to stop. Because ain't no love there. And so I went where some love was. But enough about that. So then her and the teachers talked. She wanted to bring me back up there, and the teacher told her, no, I'll just keep her down here with me, and I'll bring her back the next day. And so after that, the next day came. But when I got home, I had a nervous breakdown. I went to throwing up. I mean, just instead of throwing up. My mama had to put me in the hospital. She put me in the hospital here. Then, this doctor was white, but I'm still not racist now. He was coming towards me. And I busted out hollering and crying. And this doctor, he backed off. Instead of him telling my mama it was a racist thing, he gonna tell my mama that I gotta heal myself. So my mama still was in the dark. She didn't know what was going on. So only person know what was going on was me and God. So then God, he healed me. Then the doctor, he turned around, he called to the schoolhouse and talked to this young teacher. Then, let me tell you what they did now. The principal supposed to have been sending this teacher up there, this white teacher. But I'm still not racist. But instead of this principal sending the white teacher up there, he sent this colored teacher up there to me. They talked to me. But see, the colored teacher didn't do it. It was the white teacher that done it to me. See? See how you sweep stuff up under the rug? That's what they were doing. So now, the teacher, she talked to me and everything. Then, when I got out the hospital, and mama kept me, then the next day, I started going back to school. But see, God healed my body. No doctor healed me. So, gotta let you know, this is my testimony now. How white stick together. Now, our color needs to start sticking together. Instead of hating on one another, instead of talking about one another, instead of putting one another down, instead of making fun of one another, you know, you need to start coming together. Because, see, we the ones splitting our own self up. Because of one little old word, jealousy. And that don't make no sense. But this is my testimony, and I do want you to hear it, what I had to go through. When I was no more than 5 years old,